Hey, what's up, y'all? So this is Fran LaVaughn. I'm back. And let's talk some maths talk. Married at First Sight. I think this is season 20. Now, I did my thoughts on Married at First Sight in another video, but I want to specifically land on, so today is Thursday, August 20th at the time of this recording. And this is going to be, I think, the last 3 episodes, I believe. Where they're going to go on a retreat and then they're going to make the decisions, I believe. I'm not sure. I heard that through the grapevine. But we did have one couple so far last week in the 3-episode drop collection break up, and this was Courtney and Nick. Okay, and you know, for those of you who need a little background, Courtney is from Portland. I believe Nick is based in Seattle. Nick has been on reality TV before, on dating shows and other shows, I believe. And once Courtney found that out at their wedding, I feel like she shut down. And Courtney seems very high-strung and extremely forward and very like action-based. Like it's almost like if like she's uncomfortable with silence, she's uncomfortable with just chilling. And I have been able to relate to that in the past, where, you know, I guess sometimes people make you feel, and this is just my opinion, sometimes people make you feel like you and yourself are not enough, so you have to make everything else enough or make it enough on your own. But it could just be that that's just who she is. She needs constant interaction. She needs constant, let's go, come on. And Nick is, to me, very funny. If you have not been checked, I don't know how to say his last name. Hold on. All right. It's Nick Nick Lenhuth. I might be incorrect in how I'm saying it, but if y'all not following him, he is riding the wave on this. He is hilarious. Nick was very chill and very just a vibe. He likes to say high key a lot. This high key slapped, like excuse me, I'm still a little congested, but Nick to me is funny. Sorry, y'all. Nick to me is hilarious, but he definitely was a different, mellowed out vibe. He did admit that sometimes he likes to kind of like check the scene and figure out what's going on before he opens up and dives in. And I feel like Courtney completely took that and ran with it and made it seem like he wasn't opening up, when all the while she was too intense for him in the beginning, became intense and became investigative from the jump, which once a person becomes that way, and I don't really know you like that, and you're making it seem like everything that I'm doing is a problem based off of your innate suspicions that could be wrong, that would make anybody have a defense or a wall up or feel like they have to be hesitant with you. So she's responding because obviously they broke up. She immediately was like, no, I don't want to do this at the last couples group that we saw. And they broke up in episode, I think, 14. And, you know, he was tearing up because I feel like he was really trying to try. And she just said, you know, we're going to see. Because Courtney has been commenting. People have been going in on your girl. People have been like, this is Courtney Landis, and they have been going in, honey. You know, just talking about her, picking her apart, because she was rude. She was rude. She seemed insufferable on the show. And you just needs to take a chill pill. Coming from a girl that needed to learn how to emotionally regulate and take a chill pill in her own ways herself. And I'm not saying that I completely mirrored her. I did not. And I haven't. But Sometimes it's about your environment. Sometimes it's just about you. And it seems like she's cool with the rest of the girls, but you know, of course, editing makes things more heightened or lesser than what they should. But I feel like, I don't know if it was that. I think it was just her. So she's answering questions. All right. So I have the volume up. We're going to listen in.
Yes, you guys, 1,000%.
Okay. So hold on.
But with that being said,
okay. Sorry, I'm just playing it. But the question was, do you take accountability for your harshness towards Nick after watching it back? So she's saying yes, of course, right? So let's see.
we're gonna stop.
Okay, here.
Yes, you guys, 1,000%. But with that being said, I am not over here trying to deny that what you guys saw on TV, like, that isn't me, but it's not who I really am. And those moments, there was so much more that went into them. And that's why I think a lot of, like, what you guys say, it doesn't hurt me, because I know that this is a completely different side that y'all are seeing, and that's completely fine. You know, I knew what I was getting into, and I know that I'm a tough cookie, and I know that there are things that I do. I cuss, I maybe have jokes that aren't always gonna hit, but that's where I'll take accountability. But I also will say I know who I am, and I'm still proud of how I showed up.
So you heard what Courtney said, and she's putting it on the fact that she had jokes. I'm gonna immediately make a guess and say that probably the joke about Adam being the hottest guy, I could see where she was joking there, but wrong place, wrong time. And I can believe that this is not who she is, or it's not who she wants to be. Sometimes we need to take accountability for the fact that who we want to be is different, because theoretically you can feel like, no, I'm not this way, or I don't feel this way, or I don't think this way, but it still shows up because we still have that working character and working personality in us that makes us be who we say we don't want to be. So theoretically we can be something, we can think and feel certain ways, but our actions have not caught up with that. Hence why people are coming for us the way that they come for us, when we're like, no, that's not who I am, but then you show something opposite. You theoretically have different thought processes, or have that rigor to be like, no, this is not who I am. I'm this person, I'm that person, and still show up the complete opposite. Two things can be true at the same time. Courtney, that was you. That was you. That was you. The editing might have spruced up or made you look a certain way more than others, but that's what we saw, and because it's a reflection of who you are, editing or not. So let's go on to the next question. It says how many, this one is not as important. It's just how many hours did you have to commit to filming, and she just spoke about they did after hours and all that. But hold on, let me get to the ones that I want. All right, so this one asked her, was this scripted? Did you sign up to be the villain? Did you piss off the editors? All right, so this one's funny.
Definitely not scripted. Definitely didn't sign up to be a villain. I signed up because I was so excited to find love and find my person for life, my best friend, trusting the experts. And no, I don't think I pissed off any editors. That is hilarious.
And so she says she doesn't feel like she pissed off the editors. And I think people are asking that because, like, it is the editing floor we've seen on these shows can really alter a person's viewpoint of who someone on TV is. We don't know these people for real. Like, you want to know who Courtney reminds me of? Courtney reminds, not that she reminds me of, but the editing versus who a person is. Think Married to Medicine, Dr. Heavenly, and another person I would think is Dr. Simone. While these two people can, like, maybe there's a piece of the conversation that the editors didn't put into the scene. Maybe there's something that happened that we didn't see. Maybe there's an aspect of these people where, you know, we hear that there's deleted scenes, or there's, oh, you know, they didn't show, they're just showing the raunchy sides of me, but y'all didn't see when I did that philanthropy event. Y'all didn't see when I gave money to the poor. Y'all didn't see that, and y'all didn't see this, that, and the third. But what we did see is what we saw. And there's certain aspects of a person's character and personality that is undeniable, editing or not. So no, she didn't sign up to be the villain, but, and I don't think that she was, you know, she's trying to be a villain. I don't necessarily think Courtney's a villain. I just think that Courtney is a high-strung individual that needs high energy 24/7 and becomes uncomfortable when high energy or a person being unhinged or whatever she deems is not being themselves. Basically, you just didn't like Nick. Nick was too chill. Nick's idea of being himself was something you just did not like. You just didn't like it. That's it. You just didn't want to deal with it, right? So somebody basically said in a comment, what you seriously need is therapy, to that effect.
I mean, when the gym is therapy, I guess they can go hand in hand. I mean, when the gym is...
There you have it. She says she don't need therapy because the gym is therapy. It goes hand in hand. And there is a video of her. I'm not going to play it. Or, you know, she just basically was like, post breakup, I'm at the gym, I'm pumping it out. And that's just how she feels. She feel like she don't need to talk to nobody, this, that, and the third. I think that she does, because I think that she needs more accountability for the fact that it's not just about Nick, but it is about, like, the part that was super telling was when he went to Oregon to meet the family. That mama came out with that hairstyle, and we see where Courtney get her body from. No shade at all. It is just like, it's so interesting to me. Like, I look exactly like my mom, right? Like, people can be like, wow, like, I can see where you get it from. It's like Courtney got that same body, got the same like face and everything as that mama. Just the haircut is very like that spiky blonde. It's just it's not my cup of tea. I'm not gonna even, you know, try to be facetious. It's just not my cup of tea. But it's just like, man, this is where this lady get it from, right? So I'm not gonna play that because that might have some music to it. But let me see something else that she said that people are just like, she is okay. I mean, so this is therapy, where she says, go hand in hand. This is where she says, like, somebody asked her if she, looking back, if she feels like she self-sabotaged the relationship, pretty much. Listen to what she got to say.
Notorious for people pleasing, and that was something that, so I am notorious for people pleasing, and that was something that I told Paul when I found out he had a match for me, that I wouldn't do. And I did feel like I fell victim into that sometimes, because I was trying like so hard to maybe make something work that wasn't. But other than that, I didn't self-sabotage. I had a lot of conversations with Nick where I opened up a ton, and he knows a lot of very personal things about me that were shared off camera. And yeah, that's pretty much about it. I feel good about it.
All right.
So
and I'm just waiting for my turn. No, she's not going to see that she sabotaged the relationship. She's not going to see that because she has a viewpoint of who she is. And like she told everybody, she's perfectly fine and she's very comfortable with who she is as a person. And she is fine with it, right? So she's not going to see that she sabotaged the situation in her own way. I believe that Nick took some accountability, but I don't remember because Courtney was so explosive. I do believe that Courtney sabotaged it because of what I said in the beginning. She already had a perception about Nick, and that drove her suspicions about who he was, and she prejudged and mislabeled him, in my opinion, from what we saw, allegedly, to be somebody that he isn't. Because at the last couple dinner that they were at, she said, no, I don't feel like he's completely comfortable with who he is, this, that, and the third, because that's what you think. You think that he's not comfortable. Maybe you're perceiving stuff because we're not with him day in and day out like you are, that we can't see. But her being uncomfortable, to me, with him drove her suspicions about him, because she just didn't like him from jump when she had her suspicions about him. The family already let her know. And that's, I don't know if I said that. The family already let her know when he went to the bathroom when he was in their house. I mean, and the episode ended this way, with her sister saying, I know you want us to have your back and say things about him, but we really have nothing bad to say. And even the parents were saying, and I think her dad was saying, it's like, you're tough, and, you know, sometimes you can be a certain kind of way, and this, that, you know what I mean? They were pretty much confirming what we all can see. So while sometimes, you know, even family can be unfair and have their perceptions that are off, all roads lead to the fact that you just didn't like Nick and you had your suspicions. And because of that, yes, in a way you did self-sabotage, and you sabotaged the relationship from it making it work, because you were closed off. Even though you wanted him to open up, you were not open to letting him be himself, and you were not comfortable with who he is as a person, because you just don't like guys like Nick, and that's okay. That's okay, but you can't use that and make it that he in himself was a huge problem because of how he presented and who he is. That's just what we saw. Nick might just be a trash person that we can't see, and you were able to see things that we didn't see, but what we are going by is what we saw. So this last one is about whether or not Nick being on reality TV before and being on TV before being a red flag. So let's hear what she has to say.
Great question. I am not an avid reality TV watcher, so I actually had no idea he was on any of these TV shows. The only reality show I watch is Selling the OC. Shout out Alex Hall. But great question.
Oh, no,
I am not an avid watch is Selling the... It was a red flag in our relationship, because I think that what I was trying to get out of Nick was, again, I continued to everything that I saw, right? It was the real him and blah, blah, blah. But I think it's because he, unlike myself, knows how to be PR trained, and every answer was always so polished. And I was hoping that in our relationship, he could let those walls down, because I'm his wife, I'm not a camera. And I was wanting more than just either, 3 hours of silence or like surface level answers and stuff to conversations when we had them. Great question.
Okay, so I can totally see what she's saying, right? I can see that because he's been on TV before and because he knows the drill, that she probably believed that everything that he said seemed so perfect, right? And there is space to open up and expand our thinking on this, to see that okay, you know, maybe she asked him, you know, what are your goals in life? Like, what do you want to do? And he says, I just want to be a good person and be the best law-abiding citizen that there ever is. Like, that seems very rehearsed and polished, like what I'm saying. Instead of him saying, I mean, I guess my goal in life is to be, I'm just saying, a surfer and a politician that likes to surf. That sounds like a wild response or like a weird response, but it seems more authentic to the person, or it just seems like something that a polished response wouldn't be. So I can see why she probably felt like what she was trying to accomplish with Nick was, when I listen to you talk and when we're having conversations, it seems very scripted, and that's not what I want, which hence makes me feel more uncomfortable. But there's also a world where maybe that's just his responses appeared polished because your perception of him already deemed in your mind that everything he said would likely come out that way, right? I'm not defending it. I'm actually trying to give her grace that maybe she just felt like he just wasn't being real, right? And because of that, that had her become defensive and be like, man, this guy's not comfortable with who he is, because if he was comfortable, then he wouldn't feel like he has to say all these crazy remarks and these, not even crazy, these super polished, media trained responses. Maybe there is a part of Nick that is media trained, and there is a world where that's true. But it still doesn't warrant the way you were acting on TV. And there is a space to say, okay, Courtney, you don't know how to regulate conversations well when you are uncomfortable and when you don't like something. You become an investigator and you become immediately defensive in your own way and offensive to the point where a person can't catch a break because you're just trying so hard to figure them out. Or, once again, the grace that we can give her is that there's a lot that we did not see that leads her to have these speculations. It's left to be determined. But these are just my thoughts on her. You know, one thing that people have said about me in the past is, and it's true for everyone, is it's just simple. We can only go off of what we see and what we hear. And we have the agency and the will to show what we want to show. That is a good and a bad thing, because people can actively show the good parts of them, and they can be very good at showing that and really masking or hiding what's really real. And other times we're just showing our behind, and it's not cool because it shows that we don't have the maturity, the character building, or we have not built character well enough to still show ourselves, but a refined version that is not a threat to ourselves and others in an emotional, mental, spiritual, or physical way, right? So with that being said, I think that many things can be true at the same time, but who we are showing is what people are going to respond to. And it's a harsh truth. It's a sad truth. It does not reflect who we are. As she said, it doesn't reflect the gist of who we are. So Courtney could think that her parents are off, or she could think her family's off. She could think the world is off. But she clearly has friends. She clearly has love. So she's not this horrific person. But sometimes we need to understand that people are tolerating aspects of who we are. And that could just be the God honest truth. So, yeah, we just need to take agency and responsibility for that. If you feel different ways about what I was talking about, or if you agree, or if you want to expound on more than what I did not, please don't forget to comment and engage and start the conversation. Did you watch MAFS this season on Peacock? Are you just getting what you're getting off of reviews and off of clips? Do you not care? Please be respectful in the comments when you comment, and don't hesitate to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And thank you for people who are, finding me and subscribing, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.